This is a true story. A man went missing in an underwater cave, due to the police refusing to accept helpful clues and their slow response. The man was trapped and lost over 40 pounds in 3 weeks, dying of starvation. It happened in September 1984. 3 people planned to install a guideline inside Starkfontein Cave in South Africa. The cave system was massive, with about 10% submerged. The deepest part of the dive was only about 4 meters. They thought the task would be easy. The 3 were relaxed and casual throughout. At about 120 meters in, they quickly installed the guideline and didn't stay long before heading back. On the way back, Luno and Malcolm suddenly noticed that Peter had disappeared behind them. They turned back immediately and found Peter wandering at a fork. He might have been looking for fossils, as ancient fossils had been found there. Curious, he wandered off. Luno signaled it was time to go. After regrouping, they continued toward the exit. Minutes later, Peter disappeared again. He broke a major rule of cave diving, leaving the guideline multiple times. Though annoyed, they understood his curiosity. Luno turned back again and saw Peter's light nearby. They reunited and continued out. But minutes later, Peter vanished again. This time, Luno and Malcolm decided not to search. They waited but grew worried. They searched every fork without success. After 4 hours, firefighters arrived, but couldn't enter due to insufficient training. Police divers took over around 2 a.m. By then, Luno and Malcolm were hypothermic. The water was murky from repeated searches. Police stopped and planned to return next week. Civilian rescue teams were banned. After 6 fruitless weeks, police gave up. Ironically, civilian divers found Peter on the reopening day, just 100 meters in. Sadly, Peter had no signs of life. Police had searched near this spot, but missed him by just 4 meters. Peter likely died in the 3rd week. He tried everything, making noise, marking walls, to signal for help, but was never found in time. Luno and Malcolm were left with guilt and unanswered questions. They couldn't understand how, despite their efforts, Peter was never found in time. For them, it was a harsh lesson in preparedness and teamwork. The tragedy highlighted the flaws in emergency response systems. Peter's death became a cautionary tale for future divers. It sparked changes in how rescue operations are conducted in underwater caves. His memory lives on, as a reminder of the risks and responsibilities of venturing into the unknown. The ignored clues and slow response ultimately sealed Peter's fate. What made it worse was that Peter had passed an exit just moments before turning back, unaware that freedom was so close. The person who reported the footprints had tried shouting Peter's name, but the distance likely muted the sound. With no response, they left and informed the police, who dismissed the information entirely. Later investigations revealed Peter's death occurred in the 3rd week of being trapped. To make himself easier to find, Peter used his tank to make noise and marked the walls with small pits. He starved, losing over 40 pounds, until his death. The story doesn't end here. Luno later learned in a book that during the 6-week search, police only dived 6 days in total. On the day of the incident, someone reported suspicious footprints to the police. Later, when Peter was found, it was confirmed that these footprints belonged to him. Lost, he had wandered to see if there was an exit nearby. He turned back after finding none. However, above a corner he passed, there was a passage connected to other areas, and even led outside. Perhaps he didn't see it, or thought it was a dead end. It was too high for him to climb anyway, so he turned back. The person who found the footprints tried calling out Peter's name, but the distance from where Peter waited for rescue was too far. He didn't hear. With no response, they left and reported the footprints to police, but the police ignored the report, missing the chance to save him. The tragedy of Peter's death will forever serve as a somber reminder